Okay. Coach, we'll let you start with opening statement, and then we'll take questions from media here, and then we'll open up for Zoom.
You trying to let these people in?
Yeah, let them in.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. We got beat by a better football team. We didn't do a lot of things to help ourselves, particularly on offense. I think they've got a really good running back. The guy's hard to tackle. We didn't tackle very well. I think a lot of that has to do with him. My biggest concern was not being able to control the line of scrimmage, and we weren't. So that was the biggest concern we had going into it. Knew we had to be able to stop the run a little bit, and certainly knew we were going to have to be able to run the football, and we were not able to do either one effectively. So, we got to go back to it, and we got to get ready for the next one. You got to take the things. You got to go watch the film. You don't act like it didn't happen. They got plenty of things that we control that we've got to fix and do better, and we will. But we got to go get this thing clicking a little bit before we get to conference, and we have a chance to travel again, so we get a chance to go on the road, try to do this better than we did this time, and keep improving our football team because we're not where we want to be right now, and there's a lot of work to be done.
So, with Morium, it will look like one of those. I was way up in the press box, but it looked like one of those injuries where the cart was out quickly, and like that had to be hard to watch.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a kid who's on the field like that with an injury of that nature, it's really hard. A former walk-on who's earned a scholarship and earned a starting role, to see an injury like that is just it's hard, because everything that kid has put into it to be here. So he's supposed to be coming back with us. I can't really comment on the extent of it, right now, but I think he'll be coming back with us, which is always a good thing. So yeah, those are tough at any time, and certainly in his case in particular, just the type of kid he is, and just what he's all about. It just those are hard to see.
You had just given him a scholarship this past offseason, correct?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Trey came in, got a sack. He can kind of do that. I mean, he's going to be capable and have to play more in that way.
Trey Fight, I'm assuming you're talking about here.
Tomlinson.
Trey Tomlinson. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
And I'm assuming he's going to kind of take over that spot.
Yeah, he should. I mean, he can play inside and outside, so he's cross-trained at Star. Micaiah Bivens is another player. He's a senior. He's going to have to get ready to go too, and he's really improved a whole lot, last couple of years since he's been here. So, I mean, look, right now, yeah, we're having a tough run, with the injuries here for 3 weeks. It's part of the game, and you got to get the next guy ready, and you've got to just continue plugging away at it. So, yeah, we'll have some guys that'll step in there, and Trey would probably be the first one at nickel.
You mentioned Trey Fight or Drennan. What went into him starting today?
Cam Woodfield was banged up after last week. We felt that he was going to be able to play. We just felt like it was going to be pretty limited. Drennan's been playing. I'm sorry, his name's Drennan. He's been going by Trey. So I apologize. Drennan's been playing really good for us. Come a long way. Had a great all season. Put on a bunch of weight. He's playing really good. So, we felt like maybe if we needed Cam in third downs and some things like that, we could do that. But we felt like with Drennan and with Ashley Williams, we felt like they would match up pretty well in this, as good as what we could in this game. So it was kind of out of necessity. Felt like there was no issue. We felt like Cam was going to be able to play. We just didn't know if it was going to be the number of snaps that he normally does.
With the offensive line, was it more? It's not run blocking. I mean, I don't know that the pass protection was all that bad. Like, how would you kind of assess that?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of drives, we're a hair away from kind of getting through there a little bit, but we didn't finish blocks, we didn't strain and finish. We rotated a lot of guys today, feeling like we would need to because of the heat and all that stuff. We just never gotten any kind of rhythm on offense. I don't think we pass protected very well either. And look, I mean, I think, I'm not going to sit here and act like we just didn't play very good. I mean, it's a damn good football team. I mean, I told our team that before we came here. I think this might be a playoff team when it's all said and done. I believe it. I mean, I think on both sides of the ball, I think they're really well coached. I think they play really hard. It's a really good football team, but at some point we got to go execute better. And, and we didn't do that. Had a couple holding penalties, that kill you, especially in this game. Get behind the sticks. It's really tough because when they start pass rushing, it's, you don't have a whole lot of answers there. I just, we looked like we had a bunch of backups in there, on offense and played like it, which, there's no help on the way. There's no waiver wire. So we got to get back to work. We got to get those guys to play with some more confidence and go out there and go play better. And, we will. It's a tough environment to play in, whenever you're in there for the first time playing in any significant amount of snaps. So, it's going to get better from there. It has to, and it will.
I know everyone looks at the quarterback just like they all look at the head coach, but I mean, obviously the problems with the passing game goes way further than just the quarterback. How do you just kind of address that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing the things to be effective in the pass game. We're not protecting it good enough. We're not getting open frequently enough. We're not putting the ball exactly where it needs to be at times. We got to get everybody on the same page. And, again, we played a team. We knew they were going to contest everything. We knew on third downs in particular, when they played man, we're going to have to make some throws and catches and protect it. And, we didn't do that. So, yeah, everybody likes to say, a quarterback doesn't throw it very good or whatever the case may be. But everyone's responsible for it, from protection to route running to depth and to play design. So that's me too. So, we got to continue to find ways to get guys open. And certainly, we just got to continue to, we're going to have to throw the ball, so we've got to continue to work through the pass game. We're going to need it and we're going to keep doing it. So it's not just about winning one game. It's about trying to get this thing to where we need it to try to make a run and win a conference championship. And the only way you do that is to continue to work to improve.
I know it's just a small sample size, but this is the second straight game that you put Blanco in, and he did some things. He had a 16-yard run. He lowered his shoulder and got some yards on that at the end. Does he earn more playing time? I mean, can he now be part of that pretty regular running rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan now is going to be, he's going to get some carries every game. I wouldn't say it's going to be equal thirds. But if he continues to produce, yeah, it very well could be. I mean, he's playing really well. He's earned the right to continue to get more. That's how it works. You try to star in your role and you work really hard to earn more. And he's doing a good job of earning more.
How worried are you that a game like this can mess with the team's confidence, or are you not?
No, I mean, it can't. I mean, look, it was a really good team. We knew, truthfully, they were going to have to probably not play very well. We were going to have to start really fast, and we were going to have to play really well. They started fast. They came out ready to play. I think that's a compliment to their coaching staff, to their kids to get ready to go play. And, like I said, we didn't do things to help ourselves, I mean, on defense, we weren't able to get off the field the first 3 or 4 drives, and on offense, we weren't able to do anything. So, yeah, I mean, the reality of it is that, I mean, we knew that this was an uphill climb. You got to move on and go to the next one. I mean, we don't play Mizzou again. So, next week we have another team. We need to get ready to go play. We need to get ready to go try to beat that team.
All right. Okay. All right. Any questions from Zoom? Okay. Seeing none. Okay. Thank you. We'll have players coming.
Yeah.
Sorry. One more.
You're good.
On Harvey last season. How did you guys kind of prepare for him, or what did you tell your team about him beforehand, and how did you guys prepare, and then what did you think of his performance today?
That kid's special. We got a firsthand look at it last year, so we knew exactly what it was going to be. We missed, like I said, quite a few tackles, but he does that to a lot of people. I mean, for us, what we talked about is you got to wrap up, run your feet, and you got to gang tackle. I mean, you got to get more hats to the ball than just one. I think he's a special player. I think he was a great get from Mizzou. And I think he fits what this team does and their identity really well. He's a downhill back. All the outside zone stuff that they run, the tracks that they run, he does a great job. He presses it, and then he gets his foot in the ground and gets vertical. And, he's not just a run through a tackle guy. He's got make you miss, and he's got the ability to run through arm tackles. I mean, I think the kid's a really special player, and he played his tail off today.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We'll have players coming in a minute. We're good to go. We'll ask questions. Kevin, when you're ready. So.
Well, tell us about the play. I mean, that had to be something you break it open first play and you
Yeah.
off to the races. Tell us about that play.
So, just from the start, the call, I knew tight end had to either slice back, stay on the front side, but he sliced back to get the backside open. Then from there, it was just about speed, breakaway speed.
When you got to about midfield, could you feel someone behind you? Because he was close to you for a long ways, but
Yeah.
you never could catch you.
Now I heard about a teammate, he was like, Zylan, speed up. I was like, I know somebody behind me. Then I checked behind me, I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
So I know this game didn't go the way y'all wanted, but
Yeah.
what was that kind of play like for you? I mean, you're always hoping you break one like that, and you've
Yeah.
had a lot of good runs, but not one that's 84 yards. What was
Yeah.
that like?
I mean, I thought it was gonna give us a spark, but it really didn't.
So how worried are you that the team could get down after a game like this, or how do y'all put this behind y'all?
None of the teams were. We just worry about next week now. Like you seen this one as an opportunity. Like next week, it should be better than this week.
How on the sideline when the offense is struggling? I know it's still early in the year. How are y'all kind of talking amongst yourselves and getting through these rough spots offensively?
On the sideline, it's just all us like we don't come together, but we sit like right by each other, so we could communicate like easily. Like I'll go to the O line, tell them let's keep going. Tight ends do the same. O linemen do the same to us.
What was the heat a factor in this game? Was it kind of like the Tulane game last year? They were both played around noon or 11 o'clock, or how would you compare the two heat wise?
Two-lane game was way hotter. It's just we used to this heat now, so like we practice morning fall camp, practice in the spring for we practice in the morning for spring. So it was not like it wasn't a big issue.
Zylan, how can you hear me? Yo,
Thank you, man. No problem. Well, tell us, y'all done pretty well against the run in the first game. Obviously, y'all faced them on last year and knew how good he was. What was the biggest issue? Line or he played better or like the difference in the issues in stopping the run today?
I feel like we were having issues like just things we normally just don't do, things we can control, tackling, make sure we're in the right fit, just mostly things we can control.
What did the Heat have an was it hard to play today in the Heat? Was it kind of like the Tulane game, or how would you kind of compare the two?
I would say it was hard and different. We practice in the heat every day at practice. We go outside and practice, so we were pretty comfortable.
How does this team kind of put this game behind you? How do y'all go about doing that?
We kind of just got to do it after we watch the tape, learn from it, and tomorrow after we do corrections, it's on the next week. We got to win the next one and win out.
So what was he even better than he was last year? I mean, y'all faced him last year. It wasn't like he was new to y'all, and I think he ran for 172 yards. How would you say did he look even better today than he did last year?
I was like I said, it's just up to us, making mistakes we normally don't make and got to tackle.
What was the on the sideline? How did you sense were y'all still together and picking each other up, or how did y'all
Always,
get through it?
we always gonna stay together. Offense, defense, special teams. We're always one unit.
It had to be hard to watch a teammate go down like Marion did.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't one of the, it seemed I was way up, but it didn't seem like a good injury. Is that even harder than the loss? I mean, to watch something.
Oh yeah, that's tough, man. That's a guy that works his butt off. Comes to work every day, has a positive attitude. Just prayers up to that guy, man.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.